How to use a book to get clients. I've been doing it since 2004. Prior to that, in 1996, I used Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad book to get clients. So I think I know what I'm doing. Get a pen and paper. We're going to talk about a lot. Specifically, 3 things we're going to talk about. How do you actually use that book to get a client? Number 2, how to attract new clients and be successful. And the third and critical is the key elements to publishing and promoting a book. And I'm going to give you my $1 trillion tip at the end of what's made me New York Times, Wall Street Journal bestsellers, Barnes & Noble, you name it, been there, done it, and I know how to do it. There's a lot of companies you're going to pay $10,000, $20,000, $50,000, and they promise you an Amazon bestseller. Let's go for the big one, or let's assess whether you go for the big one. But let me help you launch your book rich to get clients, not broke. A lot of you are launching your books broke because you're upside down and you're doing it the wrong way. So get a pen and paper, like I said. Let's roll. So how to use a book to get clients? Well, obviously you're going to write a book in your expertise. What's your passion? What are you doing? And a book, let's just get it out of the way. It's a brochure for a bigger ticket item. So if you're a coach, consultant, a doctor, a chiropractor, a real estate investor, real estate agent, I don't care who you are, what you do, to get people to work with you, you use a book in this day and age to actually get credibility. So whatever your expertise is, you want to write a book that's really the brochure. It's going to be the front-facing pages and landing pages of your URLs. And then you're going to drive back all the way to your bigger ticket items. Even if you want them to come to a clinic, or you're a vet and you want them to come in and use your vet services, you have to prove through your books, through your content out here on social platforms that you actually know what you're doing. So this is welcome to 2023. Those of you who have been doing, I only do referral marketing, you got to get out here and get a book. Again, at my third point, I'm going to talk about the keys and how to get it done quickly. I can get a book done in 3 days and up probably within 10, faster than most people. And you say, well, because you've done it for so long. I know, but I also know the strategies and elements, so stay tuned for that. But how do you get clients from a book? Talk to them about what they want to talk about. Put out some surveys on social channels. What do people want to talk about? I'm an expert in blah, blah, blah. What do you want to hear about? Listen to them. Join Facebook groups. Talk to people. Get their feedback on what are the topics. Then, my favorite is go to the bookstore. This is my $1 trillion tip. Look in your category. Vision yourself in an old school bookstore. Even though you may not get published in a bookstore, I want you to think about the shelf. Like if I'm in finance, or if I'm in self-help, or if I'm in health and wellness, like where's your category? And just look through the titles. You know, the title's the last thing you need to do. And it is the last. I became the Millionaire Maker literally a day before we went to print by a focus group by McGraw-Hill who said, call her the Millionaire Maker. I'm like, that was never going to be a book title. It wasn't even in our realm of thinking. And it was the day before the title came out. So build the content based on your expertise. The titles later, the book covers, the colors, all of that is later. When I launch a book, I actually just put up a frame of a book and I put a big question mark. It said, book coming soon. What do you want me to talk about? Literally what I've done. So when I wrote this one, right, this is a Hay House publisher. They don't talk about money. I said, well, Reed Tracy and the executive team were like, well, you can't. I said, well, what do you want me to talk about? Well, you got to have yes energy. Talk about that say yes and figure it out thing that you say that you do. And then you can bleed it into money, but you got to launch with what I call a God Squad topic. So, you know, Wayne Dyer, all those guys, or Deepak Chopra, they're all published by Hay House. So I wanted to be part of the God Squad. So I needed a different title. This was the last thing we named it because I got into my audience. This literally was live on a yesenergybook.com site, which somebody overseas stole from me. Fabulous. Don't ever let your yells go down. But we launched it, which is just literally a white cover. That's a big black question mark. This is what do you want me to write about? I'm writing about this say yes and figure things out topic. So what do you want me to talk about? And then I let them give me feedback and then I got to work. So for those of you who've been asked like by a publisher to do it, I'm telling you to do the same thing versus you just need one. The biggest thing a book's going to do is position you as a thought leader. And I'd say not worst case, but secondary to you just coming live with you and your expertise. If you really don't know what to say, you don't have the content yet, interview all the experts in your space and create a collaborative book, right? That's how the Conversations with Millionaires book came out. And then he became a millionaire. I know the author of it very well. He interviewed millionaires because he wanted to be one. and he didn't have any direct content because he wasn't. So the way he got around it was interviewing other experts. Great techniques to do it. And third is if you're super backed up, just put a group of 10, 20 of you together and each write a chapter about something. That's a great way for newbies to get started, is another way to do a collaborative book. Those are very different. You have 10, 20 authors all contributing versus you interviewing 5, 10 of the biggest experts in your space. But those are all options on how you get out. Not only prove that you're a thought leader, but that you actually have range within your collective industry. Number 2, how to attract clients and be successful. It's all about the launch. It's all about getting it ready. So I was going to do this in the key elements, but I got to put it in now because it will sequence this whole talk together a little more, is you got to put together again the pre-order page immediately. The minute you get the idea, the first thing I tell you to do is get a pre-order page up and start asking people to give you feedback. So even if it's an opt-in page and you're putting somebody's name and email in there saying, what do you want me to talk about? Get feedback. What do people want you to talk about? Do not design your book in a vacuum. Now, if you're a doctor, chiro, vet, real estate agent, and you know you have a specific thing to talk about, get a recorder, quick, simple, and just start talking. And have it transcribed very quickly. Hire a professional editor. If you don't know them, we know them. And immediately you will be up and running in a few days. Test it as a report. Don't put it into a book. Actually just test the content. See if people want it. Are people willing to opt in for just a report? The report can become a 50-page book, a 70-page book. Whatever you need it to become, the book gives you credibility. It's critical to get it out. And start targeting the social channels where your ideal client spends time. The other way I attract very, great clients and help the book become successful is I do a lot of affiliate marketing, a lot of joint ventures. Who has my database, right? Like Bob Proctor has my database. He and I joint ventured for probably almost 2 decades together because he has people in the mindset of money and success, but they don't know the tactics and the foundation that I teach, right? Ron LeGrand and I have been partnered. Like we've got so many affiliates. I got hundreds and hundreds of people in the space where they have my client, I have their client. We can actually do a reciprocal and affiliate. So get those lined up as you launch your book to make sure that you're successful in the book launch. Now, before I tell you the absolute keys to success and how do you publish it, how do you get it out, how do you even run for a bestseller, subscribe to this channel. I have a little bit of experience in a lot of categories and love to help you. I'm at that point in my career where I just want to help you get started. And a book is a huge place for many of you, but you're not going to write the book without my exact steps of doing it so you launch rich. Most people do book launches and they launch poor. They barely get to the bestseller and they're broke so they can't even hire the PR firms afterwards. Before I get to the keys, subscribe to this channel. Click the notification button and share it with your friends. I want a lot of people here. I want you 5 days a week. I want you listening 10 to 15 minutes a day, learning something new about money or business or one technique that I could do to serve your life today and put into execution today. Now, let's go back to books. I've done 5 New York Times. This last one last year, it's the 2022 Personal Finance Book of the Year by Reader's Choice. It's phenomenal. It's Make Your Kids Millionaires. So how do we do it? We put up a page exactly like I said. We started talking, recording ourselves, transcribing, because I did that with a co-author, Kyle Beckman. So together we both recorded. I already had a lot of copy. This was his first book. We blended it, how he made his kids millionaires, how I made mine, how we do it very differently, successfully did a book. So we did a pre-order campaign. That then came with bonuses. And then we transitioned it to an Amazon campaign. There's a whole structure to how you lay this out. Launching rich means you've got to sell 5, 10, 15,000 books. You say, well, how do you sell all those? A couple other ideas in the publishing side. Find groups of people. Like I would find direct sales companies who wanted my books. So Put More Cash in Your Pocket was a huge book that I did with a lot of direct sales companies who had thousands of people in their downline. So I would train their top executives in exchange for them buying 5,000 books, 7,000 books. And then if I had to, I would do a year worth of training to that direct sales team's top line just to get volumes of books into the hands of volumes of people. And it has to be real individuals with real names, phone numbers, and emails, all different. You can't sell more than 12 books to one person or it won't count. So there's all sorts of strategies and nuances that I know about how to launch a book. Once you actually launch the book, make sure you do an immediate follow-up sequence. Don't wait months and months to follow up and say, hey, thanks for buying my book months ago. Immediately, I'm talking within the next week, put them into a series of webinars or education about the book, how to execute it in their life. So that gives you the opportunity to then continue to move on to bigger upsells. So if you're enjoying this, again, make sure you are binge watching over here here, I actually give some credit in Laurel Bucks towards tuition for those of you who are doing it. You need the systems below the book to get started. Go to askrms.com, which stands for Rapid Marketing Systems. You need the systems. You need the affiliate tracking. You need my campaigns. You can actually buy my best-selling page if you want. Go to askrms.com, put in your question, your information, what you need. Our team will be right back with you. If you have a money question, go to asklaurel.com. Let's keep this about the books, the marketing, and sales. Talk to you tomorrow.